The article I chose is called Intra-specific Variation Shapes Community-Level Behavioral Responses to Urbanization in Spiders. So what is evolution? Evolution is a biological theory that says organisms have an origin within other pre-existing organisms that then adapted into what they currently are. And all living organisms are related through common ancestors. This evolution can take billions of years to occur, and it's driven by natural selection, which says that the organisms best suited to their environment will be the ones to survive. And this concept was explained by Charles Darwin, and it is sometimes referred to as Darwinism. So the article says that urbanization is an extreme change to the environment that has been caused by humans, and this change exposes organisms to new and strong factors of natural selection that they didn't have to deal with before. And it examines intraspecific trait variation, which is abbreviated to ITV, which has been ignored in previous studies. So the purpose of this study was to examine the importance of ITV on the adaptation of spider behavior in response to urbanization of their habitats. Their hypothesis said that the ITV in behavior will be significant in spiders experiencing urbanization, and to record changes in behavior as an urbanization response. They believed that the behavior would be one of the most significant changes to urbanization. So the difference between inter and intraspecific variation is that interspecific variation is the variation of traits between different species, and intraspecific variation is the variation of traits within a species. So this study focuses on orb-weaving spiders. Their habitat is anywhere that has abundant prey and structures to build on. They mostly eat insects, and they're typically non-aggressive and usually nocturnal. So the experiment occurred over 62 sites in northern Belgium, and they used a percentage of built-up surfaces as a proxy of urbanization. They used 21 non-overlapping plots to represent the various urbanization levels that had anywhere from less than 3 to over 10% built-up surface area. And within every set of 21 plots, 3 subplots were selected, one for each urbanization level. So the data was collected from August to October 2014, and the spiders were caught and kept in ethanol, and their body size was measured. The spiders ranged over 18 species. They also caught prey in sticky paper traps to examine them, and almost 1,000 webs were randomly analyzed across all plots, about 6 webs per species, where they measured web height, inclination, capture surface area, and average mesh size. So the community weighted mean values were calculated. There were 3 types of them calculated: the fixed averages, which were averaged across all samples, the specific ones, which were based for each urban context, and the ITV, which was the difference between the fixed and specific values. And this ITV was then calculated. So the results were that the amount of prey stayed constant, but the prey itself became smaller. The number of species per sample wasn't affected by urbanization, but the abundance of the amount of spiders did decrease as urbanization increased, and the diversity of spiders decreased in the smaller, more localized samples. And the physical fixed traits of the spiders did not have a significant change. What did change was the web building behavior. So spiders started building their webs higher and with less incline as areas got more urbanized, as vertical webs didn't catch prey as well. The web mesh width decreased, making the webs closer together so that the smaller prey would be caught within the smaller webs. And the web surface values got smaller on a local scale, but overall larger on a landscape scale. So the conclusion was that this ITV was an important factor in urbanization responses, and as I said, it's the difference between fixed and specific averages. And their hypothesis was partially supported. While the ITV was not the most significant effect of urbanization, it was part of the significant effect as the behavior changed, but it was dependent on the fixed traits that ITV did not affect. For example, the web design and building was semi-dependent on body size, which was not affected by this ITV. So some of the problems are that the spiders aren't able to fully compensate for the environmental changes, and this inability to compensate for the negative effects can lead to a decline in biodiversity and ecosystem functionality. Also, that these studies to find this information are costly and time-consuming. And some solutions are that local conservation efforts can preserve their habitats, and that spiders can be matched with habitats and brought to habitats that are more suitable to them, therefore preserving the species. Here are my references. Thank you.